Hello friends, in this video we study hysteresis loop. Hysteresis is the non-linear BH curve. B is nothing but the magnetic field of the material when it is placed in external magnetic field. H is the magnetizing force or magnetic field intensity of that external magnetic field. And this BH curve provides the information of magnetic history of the sample. If you consider a sample of diamagnetic material, we know diamagnetic material repel the magnet. If you consider paramagnetic material weakly attract towards the magnet. And if I consider ferromagnetic material, it will attract strongly towards the magnet, and we can use a ferromagnetic material to make as a permanent magnet. So this different history of the magnetic material is given by BH curve. What is the hysteresis? Hysteresis term is nothing but one quantity lags behind another quantity. So it is the phenomena of lagging the magnetic field of the material behind the magnetizing force H in ferromagnetic substance when it is subjected to a cycle of magnetization, that is variation of external magnetic field, is called hysteresis. We know B is equal to mu into H. Mu is the permeability and it is constant for paramagnetic and diamagnetic substance. So as mu is constant, the BH curve is straight line for para and diamagnetic material. But this permeability is not constant for ferromagnetic material, so it varies along with the H external magnetic field as well as the history of material. So that we study. So for hysteresis loop, we consider unmagnetized ferromagnetic material in the form of rod placed inside a solenoid. On passing the current through a solenoid, magnetic field is generated which will magnetize the rod. Okay, so this condition we consider and we vary the current. Initially we vary the current from 0 to maximum. When we vary, the external magnetic field will vary and the magnetic field produced by the rod also vary. That's variation we study here. Magnetization of material can easily calculated as magnetization equal to susceptibility times H and H equal to B by mu naught minus M. This equation we already studied in the last videos. Knowing the value of magnetic field intensity and magnetization, we can calculate the magnetic field produced by that rod, that is B equal to mu naught Ni plus mu naught M. To draw the hysteresis graph of ferromagnetic material or the BH curve of the ferromagnetic material, the magnetic material should be undergo a cycle of magnetization, that is a variation of magnetic field H. So initially H is gradually increased from 0 to maximum by increasing current, then it is decreased to 0 by decreasing the current, then in the reverse direction it is decreased and made minus H, that is in the negative direction it is made maximum value minus H max, and finally H brought to 0. So whatever this variation of the external magnetic field is called as the one cycle of magnetization, and this variation can be done by varying the current through the solenoid. And when we draw the graph with this different variation, that is one cycle of magnetization, that graph we called as the hysteresis cycle or the hysteresis loop. So this loop we study step by step here. Initially, when the supply current is 0, there is no external magnetic field. When there is no external magnetic field, the material will not magnetize, will not produce any magnetic material. That means H is 0, B is 0. So this point we show at point O in the graph. At point O, we can say the material is in non-magnetized state. Now increase the current from 0 to up to certain maximum value. When we increase the current from certain value, the external magnetic field starts producing, it will goes on increasing. When the external magnetic field will be goes on increasing, at the same time the magnetic field produced by the rod also goes on increases. So H as well as B both are increased, and this increased in B and H follow the path 0 to A. 0 to A. At point A, whatever the flux density of the material is maximum, and this maximum point is called as the magnetic saturation. Whenever we heard the term saturation. Saturation is one certain maximum value. Beyond that, that value cannot be increased. So here also A is the saturation point. It is magnetic saturation. Beyond that, we cannot increase the B and H. So A is the magnetic saturation where the all the element in the core material, in the magnetic material, aligned in particular direction. Okay, so E is the saturation point. Now decrease the current from maximum value to 0. When we decrease the current to 0, this external magnetic field also decreased and magnetic field produced by material also decreased. But this decreasing graph will not follow the same graph. So the graph followed by decreasing B and H is A to B. A to B. At point B, the H external magnetic field is 0 as current is 0, but B is not 0. Why the B is not 0? Because still, even though external magnetic field is 0, the material inside the external magnetic field still have certain magnetizing or certain magnetic field, and that magnetic field we called as the residual magnetic field. At point B, explain that after removing of magnetizing force, magnetism property with little value remain present in the magnetic material known as the residual magnetism, remaining magnetism. And this residual magnetism is the certain value of magnetic field, that is magnetic flux per unit area, remains in the magnetic material without presence of magnetizing force, that is H equal to 0. If I want to find the value of this residual flux density, that value we called as the retentivity of material. So retentivity or the remanence is the degree to which a material gains its magnetism after magnetizing force is reduced to 0. Means when we stop the external magnetic field by stopping the current, still material produce certain magnetic field, and that quantity of the residual magnetic field, remaining magnetic field, is given by or is measured by the quantity retentivity. So this is the retentivity. Okay, now if now up to now we are decrease the current to 0. Now decrease the current in the reverse direction. Now when we take the current in the reverse direction, that is minus I, the magnetic field also get reduced. Why we are decrease the current? Why we are take the current in reverse direction? Because whatever the magnetic field remains present in the material, that remains or residual magnetic field, I want to make it 0. To make that residual magnetic field to 0, we have to reverse the current so that external magnetic field direction will be reversed. And when the external magnetic field direction will be reversed, that residual magnetic flux density, residual magnetic field of the material will get 0. So that we get at point C. So when the current is reversed, the graph followed by B and H is B to C. At point C, the B is 0 but value of H is in negative, and this negative value of H, that is external magnetic field intensity, is called as the coercivity or the coercive force. So this negative value of H is called as a coercive force or coercivity. What is the coercive force? It is the negative value of the magnetizing force that reduce the residual flux density of the material to 0. So coercitivity, that is certain negative value of external magnetic field, is required to make residual magnetic field of material make 0. Now further, if we increase the current in the negative direction, the H magnetic field intensity of solenoid also increased in the reverse direction, and B the material magnetic field also increased, and both will reach up to certain maximum value in the reverse direction called as the saturation. And this saturation point, on the points all the dipole moments in the material aligned in particular direction, but it is in opposite direction. So at this saturation point, both H and B are maximum, but it is in reverse direction, so both are negative. Now increase the current. When we increase the current from this minus, this negative value to 0, then the external magnetic field will starts increasing. From the reverse direction, it will starts increasing. When it starts increasing means in the minus H max to 0, the B magnetic field produced by the material should be 0, but it will not 0. So we get a point E. When the current is increased from negative maximum value to 0, the H external magnetic field intensity becomes 0, but B is not 0. So it follow the path D to E. At point E, H is 0 but B is not 0, so this value is also same as this retentivity, but it is in negative side. Okay, so this is also reverse residual flux which is remains in the magnetic material. Now if I want to make this a 0, what we do, we again increase the current back in the reverse direction, that is in positive direction. So we increase the current, so it will follow the path E to F. It will follow the path E to F. So at point F, the B is 0, residual flux, reverse direction residual flux in the material will be 0, and H is positive. Okay, now we can increase the current up to maximum value. It will follow the path F to A. So whatever these are the different variation, different behavior of the material by varying the external magnetic field, by varying the current through the solenoid. Okay, and this total graph we called as the hysteresis curve. So this loop is called a hysteresis loop, and the process of taking magnetic material through the loop once is called as the hysteresis cycle. Different thing in hysteresis loop we study, that is hysteresis loss. The area represented by hysteresis curve A, B, C, D, E, F, A. This area is equal to the net energy dissipated per unit volume of the material during one cycle of magnetization, which is lost as a heat. Whatever the area covered by this hysteresis loop, this area gives the net energy lost by the material in one cycle, and that loss of the energy in the form of heat is given by, or is called as, a hysteresis loss. Okay, and this hysteresis loss should be minimum. Now what are the different importance of hysteresis loop? 1, smaller the hysteresis loop area symbolize the less hysteresis loss, right? This area should be this area should be small so that the loss of the energy should be minimum. And this narrow hysteresis loop is desired for making the core part of transformer, motors, as well as making the core part of electromagnets. So for these material we require the narrow hysteresis loop area. Another one, hysteresis loop provides the value of retentivity, that is the residual flux, residual magnetic field of the material, as well as the coercivity. Thus the way to choose perfect material to make a permanent magnet core of machines becomes easier. So by calculating these two value, we can easily choose the material or the course of material of different machines. From the BH graph, residual magnetism can be determined, that is back magnetism, remaining magnetic flux can be easily determined, and thus choosing of material for electromagnetism is easy. So these are different advantages of the hysteresis loops. Thank you.